Where is the money? Where is the money? Where is the money? Why is it so hard for you to receive the money that you've been desiring? Why is it so hard for you to materialize the money that you've been affirming over and over again, or visualizing, or journaling? Hi there. My name is Maria Tan, and I'm known as the business coach for Misfits because of my uncanny ability to see the tapestry of various threads that makes you, the person, the brand, the business special and unique, and create an ecosystem that values that difference. This video is going to walk you through the why. Why is it so hard for you to manifest money and the possible ways you're blocking money? So make sure you hit that subscribe button. So in case your internet gets cut, you will not need to comb through and filter through YouTube black hole in finding this video that would really shed light on why it's so hard for you to receive, materialize, manifest money. Britannica defines money as a commodity accepted by general consent as a medium of economic exchange. It is the medium in which prices and values are expressed. As currency, it circulates anonymously from person to person and country to country, thus facilitating trade, and it is the principal measure of wealth. Principal measure of wealth. What if it's more than measuring wealth? What if money is more than the tangible form? What if money and your relationship with money goes beyond the currency, the commodity? What if your relationship with money is how you either limit yourself or allow for the opportunities where you can grow, build, and create the life that you've ever dreamt of? When you think of taking a shower, you don't think, I want to take a shower, and if I take a shower, I'm going to use water. If I'm going to use water, my water bill is going up. And if I take a shower, I need to use soap. Then if I use a lot of soap, then I need to buy more soap. These thoughts don't come to you. But when it comes to money, most people create stories after stories after stories about money. An example is this. Think of having more money. Someone would just think, wow, I have a lot of money. Now I need to pay more taxes. If I pay more taxes, I need to get an accountant. If I get an accountant, I need to pay that accountant. And then my mother is going to ask for money. My brother, whom I didn't see for a long time, is going to come and ask for money. And then the bank is going to call me. And then, and then, and then, and then. There is no stop in what could happen with money. And the thing is, money is not as simple as just this commodity or currency for a lot of people. It carries a lot of stories and a lot of programmings, a lot of limitations with it. With the idea of having money, with the idea of spending money, with the idea of simply money. There's so much energy there. There's so much tangled beliefs there. There's so much tangled, concerns. There's so much tangled energy there. There's so much tangled coding there. There's so much tangled conditioning and this loop of loom that we associate money with. So guess what? If there is so much energy, so much tangled emotion in money, how can you receive money effortlessly? When you think of money, how does your body react? Does it shrink? Does it expand? And after answering that, think about receiving money. Think about having money. Think about spending money. How does your body react to each of those scenarios? What is more commonly said is how money is an energy, money is a mindset, and that it's easy to reframe, to shift perspective. The thing is, money is so layered that answering the question, how do I think of money, needs to even be categorized in how do I think of receiving money? How do I think of making money? How do I think of having money? How do I think of spending money? How do I think of money as is? Because that money and the layers that make up our relationship with money is just so tangled, so deep, so varied. When you're thinking of spending money and your body now shrinks immediately, it tells you that there is a programming in you that's rooted in scarcity, that's rooted in, oh my God, I'm going to spend more, so I can't afford it. What if I can't afford it? And that thought of what if I can't afford it is the idea that money will run out, that I'm not worthy of getting this for myself, that I worry about what people would say about me spending this money. That act alone of spending money, that thought of I can't afford it, already created these three different scenarios that paint different versions of your relationship with money. So if you want to reframe that, you have to start with the thought of what if. What if it's okay for me to spend money? What if it's okay for me to get this? What if it's not a waste of money? What if trying to just force yourself to think a different thought, to shift your mindset around money, can go nuclear on you, can go against you, can work against you? Because if there is a part of you that do not believe that you deserve the money, that do not believe whatever money affirmation, money mantra you're saying, it's not going to work. Money will still find it difficult to come to you because your relationship with money is still on the unhealthy side. Your energy around money is still on the lower end. You're still in that space of money is tight, money is hard, money is something that I have to work hard for, that I have to prove myself with, that I have to do more to receive. So those are just a few examples of why you're having difficulty receiving money. Now, let me walk you through 11 ways you're blocking money. And let's start with what I said earlier. I can't afford it. Just by saying I can't afford it tells you that story of scarcity, lack, fear, dread, anxiety, money worries. Whenever you say to yourself, I can't afford it, especially before asking the price, is you closing opportunities for yourself. Funny, isn't it? Most people will tell you, I can't afford it way before they figure out how much something is. Because we're just so fixated in that belief, in that narrative that something new is expensive, something different costs a lot, something that we don't have, we shouldn't have. And that's why it's beyond our reach. So when you're thinking, I can't afford it, you are limiting yourself immediately because you are closing your mind from even imagining ways of receiving, ways of having, ways of enjoying, ways of making money to afford something, ways of simply just receive that something without doing anything, maybe as a gift, for example. But the moment you stick with that narrative of I can't afford it, whatever that it is, it's creating this heavy energy around receiving. It's creating this narrative that I don't deserve, that I can't, that this isn't part of my reality. So the more you say, I can't afford it, the more chances of it happening for you, that whatever that it is will be something you can never, ever, ever afford. The second way you're blocking money is when your body responds negatively to the idea of money in whatever category it is in. So let's say you're thinking, I want to make more money. And I get this chance now to make more money in the form of a promotion at work. The thought of that promotion fills you with dread because you now start thinking of the increased responsibility, the headache, the pressure, and the stress. And that dread, that physical shrinking of your body now closes your energy field from receiving money, from seeing money come to you easily and effortlessly, because the narrative you're playing now is, I need to work harder for this little increase, for this little promotion. And now I need to prove myself all over again. I need to do more. I need to push for more. So whenever you have that response to any of the having, making, creating, spending, receiving money, try to neutralize that. Try to ease into the fun, what you could do with what money brings you. So let's say that raise, that promotion, that extra 20%. Perhaps you can now take a vacation at a more expensive hotel, or travel now internationally instead of locally. So just allowing yourself to imagine what fun, what more, what ease, what expansion that money could bring you, whether it's receiving, whether it's making, whether it's having, whether it's spending money. It now helps you to be neutral with the thought of money. Because the reason why we have to neutralize our emotions around money is because if we aren't neutral, if we get triggered so fast, if we feel daunted by it and intimidated by it, we are going to make more stories and more stories and more stories and more stories, just like what I shared earlier. It's not just now this $100 bill. It's now this $100 bill is a symbol of my mom that told me I couldn't make more and that she needs to lend me $100 to pay for rent so that I'm not kicked out, etc., 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 etc. So neutralizing your relationship with money, neutralizing your responses around what you think of money will help you expand and relax around it. And when that happens, you now feel that you can always access it. Because that example of taking a shower, when you think of taking a shower, you're not making more stories out of it. You're just thinking, I really want a shower. And even if there's a problem with your water supply, you don't let that deter you from getting a shower. You'd go, oh, something's wrong with my shower. Let me go to my neighbor and ask if I could take a quick shower. Let me go to my mom's place and ask if I could take a quick shower for the night. Because in your narrative, you have access to shower, to water. And when you come to a point that your narrative also says you have access to money, it's when you have neutralized your emotions around the thought of money and all categories of money relationships, of money experiences. The third way you're blocking money is when you don't give yourself the grace to receive. Let's say a friend buys you a cup of coffee. What is your initial response? Do you say, wow, thank you for this? Or do you say, let me pay you? How much is it? No, let me pay you. Let me pay you. Let me pay you. Let me pay you. How easy is it for you to receive? How comfortable are you receiving just because? Just because someone thought of you, just because someone loves you. We associate money so much with hard work, with the need to be rewarded, that we can't be at peace and ease and relax around money. That's why it becomes this big ball of tangled energy. And that's why it's so hard for you to see the money that you've been affirming, that you've been wishing, that you've been journaling on. The fourth way you're unconsciously blocking money from coming to you more effortlessly is when you do not give yourself the grace and the space to spend money on your dreams and desires. How often do you contribute to someone's dreams? Let's say a nephew comes to you and says, Auntie or Uncle, I really want a new guitar, and you go buy that guitar. And yet for yourself, when you're thinking, I want to study ukulele, and you keep putting off buying that ukulele because you're thinking, isn't this a waste? Am I being responsible taking up a hobby when I have so many bills to pay? So the more that you give yourself the grace, the more that you spend on yourself, the more that you allow yourself to invest in a brighter version of you, in that version of you where you're happy, when you're centered, when you're being anchored to your joy and your passion, the easier money will flow to you, because you're neutral about spending on yourself, about giving yourself that opportunity, that growth. Because, hey, when you think about it, money is about giving us options. Money is about giving us those options to grow, those options to let go. The fifth way you block money is when you say, I wish, every time you think of something different for yourself, something new for yourself, something unconventional for yourself. For example, if you're thinking, I'd really love to take a break, and instead of thinking of the how, instead of thinking, where would I want to go and have my vacation, you immediately discount that idea, that concept, that unconventional thought for you of asking or thinking or imagining yourself on a break. The moment you say, no, 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 I wish. The moment you do that, you're closing off opportunities again. You're saying now to money, okay, I'm never ever going to give myself that chance because I don't have money and I know that money will not come to me, will not afford me this option. Because deep down, what you're really saying is, I'm not worthy. And when you are operating from that narrative, money is going to be hard. Money won't come to you effortlessly. And even if it is right in front of you, it's going to be hard to see. You're going to miss out on opportunities that will give you more money, that will give you more ease, because the narrative you're operating from is, I'm unworthy. I don't deserve a holiday, a break. I don't deserve something new. I don't deserve a new narrative. The sixth way you're blocking money is when there is resentment in you, when you see others in luxury. For example, you see a friend on social media buying a new yacht, and immediately the thought that came to you was, what a waste. This attitude of resentment, of unease, of discord with luxury, with enjoyment, with pleasure is going to close you off to receiving money easily or materializing what you've been thinking of, because there's something in you that resists, that pushes that idea of luxury, which means more comfort in your life. So observe how you respond to people in luxury, to people celebrating their money, to people enjoying money. The seventh way you're blocking money is when you overly haggle. Look, I love a good bargain. I think everybody does. Everybody loves that bargain. Everybody loves to get a deal. But if you overly focus all your efforts in haggling, in getting discounts, in couponing, your focus now, your energy now, your entire being now is consumed by spending less instead of making more. You unconsciously close off yourself from being creative, from being resourceful, from allowing yourself to think of different ways to make more money, of different ways to have more abundance in your life. The eighth way you're blocking money is when you keep saying, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for money. Let's say you're a creative entrepreneur and you quit your corporate job for you to pursue your dream. And the one thing you keep telling yourself is, I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for money. I'm not doing this for money. Listen, you're not only doing this for money, but you are doing this for money, because this is your source of income. You saying it over and over, you thinking, I'm not doing this for money, I'm not doing this for money, is you already dictating the outcome of your venture. That this is not a profitable project, that this is not a profitable venture, but rather a passionate one that does not make money. So if you are someone that pursued your dream, stop saying, I'm not doing this for money. If you're working somewhere, stop saying, I'm not doing this for money. Of all the jobs in the world, of all ways to make money, you chose this path because, one, you're doing it for money and you're doing it to be happy too. So try to avoid that sentence. Try to avoid thinking or saying, I'm not doing this for money. And every time you catch yourself thinking that or saying that, just add, I'm not doing this for money only. The ninth way you're blocking money is when you can't let go of the things that are most comfortable with you. An easy example is an old pair of shoes. Let's say you bought a new pair of shoes, but you haven't thrown out that old pair of shoes because they're a little worn out, but you can still walk in them. They're still okay. And every time you go out of the house, instead of getting or trying on those new pair of shoes, you revert back to that old pair of shoes because they're so comfortable. And yet, sooner or later, they're just going to surrender. They're just going to give. So you walk and you keep your fingers crossed, hoping, hey, I hope these shoes will not give. Why not get the new shoes instead? This act in your life, just this simple act of shoes, imagine how many things in your life you're tolerating because you cannot let go of what's comfortable. Perhaps you've been thinking of not seeing a friend who's just so toxic in your life, and yet you still revert in that habit of calling this friend up. And every time you talk to this friend, you're just drained. Your whole day is gone. Your next day is gone. And because you lost that energy, you don't even have the space to think of ways to make more money, to think of ways to enjoy money because you're just so drained. So if you're still holding on to old things that are comfortable, and start with something at home, start with something so staple, so basic as clothes, shoes, socks. Are you still holding on to those pieces that feel so comfortable but already have holes in them, that are already run? Give them away, release them into the world, let them go, and practice and train your system to be okay using new things, thinking new thoughts, having new friends and new perspective and new environment. 10, you keep avoiding money discussions. Let's say you're thinking of going on a trip or throwing a party. And every time someone asks you, so what is the budget? You just try to skirt around that issue and you're thinking, yeah, we'll make it, whatever, it's okay. Well, let's not think about it. Avoiding talking about money is pushing it away. So guess what? If you're pushing it away, you are blocking yourself from receiving more money. Last but not the least, the 11th way you're unconsciously blocking yourself from having more money is when you keep experiencing buyer's remorse, that guilt. Every time you get something, you're happy at the moment, you enjoyed that decision of spending on yourself. And when you go home, you look at it, you feel guilty all the time. You keep thinking, why did I do this to myself? Why? And staying in that energy of guilt is creating that narrative that money gives me more guilt. And if money gives me more guilt, how can I receive more of it? I hope you found this video useful and learned how you're blocking money, why you're blocking money. In the comment section, I'd love to hear what you realized about yourself, or if you want to add another way you're possibly blocking money. This is Maria, business coach for Misfits, bidding you more money magic and reminding you to hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss out on videos around navigating the world as a misfit with practical magic.